Hey guys, Brandon here. This week, well, actually, it's gonna be a little different than normal. So what I'm doing this week is I'm gonna be playing through a pretty extensive game. One might say epic game. And I'm gonna be playing through The Colonists. So since The Colonists is such a long game, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 videos because there's 4 eras in The Colonists. Like you can play through up to 4 eras. So what I think I'm going to do is do 4 videos. I'll do the first era as a video, second era as its own video, third, so on and so forth. Anyway, so since in The Colonists we're colonizing a new world, takes some exploration to do. What I decided to pair that with this week is I'm going to go with the Canoe Ridge Vineyard, the Explorer Red Blend. Yeah, should be fun. Let's get colonists to the table. Let's get the Explorer in the glass, and let's have some fun. So here is the colonists all set up. So what you do to start out before you get going is you give yourself 2 farms, and on each farm you get 1 farmer, which are the green like meeples here. You get yourself 1 of these pawns, which you're going to be moving around this map with, or moving around on that map with. You also start with 6 tools. So I'll just grab 6 tools, and then 3 of the regular basic goods. And I'm just going to take all 3 wood. So what you do is, so at the start of an era, you turn over a new era card, which is right here. So this era card. Get that out. And each era consists of 5 years, which are here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, summer and winter. Then at the start of a year, you turn the market card face up, which will be this one here. So let's just flip that out and find out what our market is doing. So now what this means is anytime you put your pawn on one of these market spaces, when you do that action, you can sell 2 wood for $1, sell a brick for $3, or you can get 1 food and 1 clay, or you can use it as if it was a builder action by paying 3 tools, 2 wood, and a clay to build a hunting lodge. And you can do that 1 time, which is denoted by that little 1x there. So you have any of those 3 options when you go to that market. So in the first year, anytime I come here, I can do 1 of those. So you turn over a market card face up. We turn over 3 places face up, which are these tiles right here. So we've got a grove, a clay burner, and a baker. So now what that means is, let's see, if you skip down here to the end of the year, we're going to put out those new places. We're going to add them out onto the map. So let's go back up. So that's all we do at the start of each year. Is we're going to flip out 3, and we'll know what's going to be coming up at the end of that year, so we'll know what we'll have for actions the following year. Then we do the summer half year, where we just take 3 consecutive actions. So what you'll do is you'll always start the game out in one of the markets. So you just pick which one you want to start in, so you're there. And then you get to move to any adjacent location. So like I can move here, pick up 2 wood, and then from there I have to move somewhere else adjacent. So you're going to move 3 times to adjacent locations, do 3 actions, and then that will be the end of the year. Then you'll move on to the winter. You're going to do the exact same thing, do 3 actions. Then when you get to the end of the year, it's not going to apply in this new starting player, which the only way to become a new starting player is if you come up here to the head official and get a clay, and then you would get this starting player token. But since I'm playing solo, that doesn't really apply. New starting player adds the 3 places that came out at the beginning of the year. We can redistribute workers that we have out here, and I'll explain that a little bit more in detail here in a second. You do the sustenance phase, where you just feed your workers and make sure they have what they need. And then you do the production phase. So, production is, if you notice on your player board here, this little symbol with the, it's like the curved arrow. Let me see if I can find something that does that. No. Yes, for instance, if I were to have built this hunting lodge, and I had a green worker on it, so I had a farmer on there, it would produce me 1 food each year. And that is during the production phase. So, now let's step back a second. So, here where it says you may redistribute your workers, once you build buildings, like, you can move those workers around to different buildings. So like, you could build another building and just have 1 farmer to place between the 2. So you can move them each year depending on what you want them to do, and then they'll produce. So notice that you can redistribute your workers before you do the production phase. All right, and then at the end of an era, you score if this was the last era. But we're going to be playing 4, so that's going to be a while. Anyway, let's, oh yeah. So now come back up to the Era 1 card. Since we're at the beginning of the era, we're going to basically do all of this stuff. I already did this during setup. You add the second market, which I added one right here. At the beginning of Era 2, it has to be at least 2 places away from the original market, and it is. And it has to be sharing at least 1 edge with a place, and it's sharing multiple edges, 3 edges with 2 different places. Then you shuffle the current market cards, which I already did. I shuffled those, and we flipped 1 out and placed them ready to use. Then you shuffle the current improvements and place them ready to use, which are right here. And then you shuffle the current places, which I already did. And maximum diplomacy level is 1. What that means is that on any of these colonies, if I were to do those, which you have to come to the diplomat in order to advance on a colony, you can only build the first level of any one of those. And then this fee down here applies for a multiplayer game. Like if you went to a space where somebody else already had their pawn, you would have to pay this fee. Okay? Which, again, in a solo game doesn't really apply. Let's just get right into it. We're in the start of a year. We turned over the market card. We got the 3 things out. So now we're into summer. And I believe for my first action, what I want to do is I'm going to come here to this builder, and I'm going to pay 1 tool and 2 wood to build a storage shed. And the storage shed comes right here. And you can do this up to 3 times. I'll give you a better, closer look at this tile. 1 tool and 2 wood will allow you to build a storage shed, and if you had enough goods, you could do that 3 times. I could only do it the once, so I am back there. So that was 1 action. I still have 2 more for this season. I'm going to come to the riverbank grove and grab 2 wood. And then I am going to come down here to the builder, spend 1 more tool and 1 wood to grab a farm. And a farm is up here. So I place that there, and that comes with a farmer on it. And now for me, if you notice here, in order to use this storage shed, I need to place a farmer on that. So actually, before I went to that riverbank grove and the farm, I actually placed that worker on there so that is ready to use. So that's the end of the summer. And now we're on to the winter phase. And I'm going to come back here to the riverbank and grab 2 more wood. And now that this storage shed has somebody in it, I can now use those storage spaces for these goods. And storage is a really important thing in this game. You can only use stuff that is in your basic storage or in any storage sheds that you've built or storage buildings that you've built throughout the game when you do actions. You also have this warehouse down here where you can store 1 good to start the game. You can upgrade these to where you get more storage for your warehouse, also for your basic storage. But the way your warehouse works is you can exchange goods between your storage and your warehouse freely. But once you do an action, in order to use goods, they have to already be in your storage. You cannot use goods from your warehouse. And also, buildings, when they produce, they will produce goods onto those buildings, but you cannot use the goods from those buildings. You can move the goods from your buildings into either your warehouse or your storage. So storage is readily usable. You can only store as much as your building produces in those buildings, and then your warehouse, you cannot use those goods either. You cannot use stuff from your buildings either. Has to be in your storage. Clear as mud? I'm sure it is. I'll try to explain that a little bit more eloquently when time comes, and like if there's like a situation where I want to use something, I'll explain why I can't. Okay, so we're on to winter actions. I went back to the riverbank, got some more wood, and now I'm going back to the builder. I'm going to spend 2 tools and 4 wood, which is all of my wood, to get 2 more storage sheds. And I did that because, again, storage is very important in this game. All right, so that is 2 actions. I still have 1 more to go. And I think I'm just going to keep hanging out down here and grab 2 more wood. And that was my 3rd action. Actually, hold on. Okay, so with movement, here's something that I wanted to point out. So since I started down here on this builder, I moved here, and then I moved back here, which is all legal. I just could not have ended up back on this builder, so I couldn't have gone from here to here to here. You always have to end up someplace different than you started. But you can still go to a place that you went to during that movement, as long as you don't end up back here. That was my 3 actions during the winter. So now we're at year end. I got to place out these tiles. I think I'm going to stick this maybe up there. And this clay burner will stick right here. And the baker put it right there. All right. And now I could redistribute workers, but I'm going to leave them all out there so I have them in my storage. Sustenance phase. If you look here, this is what's required to feed any of the farmers. It is 0 food and 0 clothes. So I'm good for sustenance for my farmers. They feed themselves, basically. They farm, so they get that done. And they make their own clothing, apparently. And then production, I don't have any buildings that produce yet. Right now I just have my farmers working in the storage sheds so that I can store more goods. So that is the end of that year. So now we're at the start of year 2, and I turn over another market card. So now at markets, I can sell food for $1, clay for $1, or I can get 2 wood, or I can build a forester's house for 2 tools and 3 wood. Oh, actually during the production, I did get 3 tools for my smithy, which is a built-in production. Flipped out the 3 new places, and we're ready for summer actions. All right, so I've got some wood. I think I'm going to come to this market, grab some more wood, which gets me 2 more. And when you go to a location, you have to do the action of that location. Just so you know. Then I'm going to come to the head official and get myself a clay. And then I'm going to come to this builder, spend 3 tools, 2 wood, and a clay to get myself a hunting lodge, which we'll put right down here. So that was 3 actions, and now we're back into winter actions. So I am going to do just, I'm going to grab myself a clay. I'll come here, grab 2 more wood, and then back to this riverbank to get 2 more wood. And that was my 3. Oh, I forgot at the start of the year to put out those tiles, and that actually would have changed what I did this year, or during that winter action. Too late. I messed that up, so it's my own fault. All right. So the end of year, we place out these tiles. I'm going to place this clay delve right there. Got another grove, which I guess I'll stick down here. And then a joiner, which I will put right by that grove. Yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, so now I can redistribute workers. I'm going to move this guy from this storage shed to down here, to this hunting lodge. So now, sustenance, still, I'm good on feeding people. And now production. I'm going to get 3 tools for my smithy. And now that I have this farmer working this hunting lodge, he's going to produce me 1 food, which I will place right on that hunting lodge. All right, so that is the end of the year. So now we are at the start of a year. We're going to flip another market card. Flip out 3 more places. Now we're ready to do actions. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to this builder. I'm going to spend 2 more tools. and 2 wood to build 2 more farms. Which is going to get me 2 more guys. So that is 1 action. I have 2 more. I'm going to place this farmer down here so that storage shed is ready. And now, oh, that's tough. Yep, I'm going to come to this market. I'm going to sell that clay for $1. That's 2 actions. And then for 3, I'm going to come to the clay delve and grab 2 more clay. And that was 3 actions. On to winter. Back to the market. I'm going to take a food and a wood. I'm going to stick this food down in my warehouse. No, I'll stick it in storage. 2, I'm going to come here. I'm going to spend 1 tool and 3 wood and 2 clay. And that is going to get me this storekeeper colony, which means now I have to find the storekeeper embassy, which I've got one right here, and that doesn't require a worker to man it. That just lets me know that I've done level 1 of this storekeeper colony, which for doing that, I get one of these 3 storage spaces, warehouses. And now each of my storage sheds will flip over to the other side. They now each hold 3 goods instead of 1. Now you know why I went and did that colony. That really helps you get more storage available. So that was my 2nd action. For my 3rd, I'm just going to come here and grab another clay. Oh, that's a brick, not a clay. Grab another clay. All right, so that is the end of that winter. So now we distribute these out. And I'm going to put this other clay delve right up here next to this clay burner. And let's stick this hollow right by this clay delve so you easily build that. And now this pub requires bricks, planks, and clay. So since it needs bricks and clay, how about I stick that right by the brick maker. So now I can redistribute. Everybody's good. I'm going to move this good real quick into my warehouse. And now sustenance. Everybody's good on that. Production. I'm going to get 3 more tools. And I'm going to get another food in my hunting lodge. And we're now at the start of the year. We flip out a new market card. 3 more tiles flip up. There's that builder. Alright, so before I do any actions, stick that there, put that also in storage. Oh. Alright, so for 1, I'm going to come up here and get rid of those 2 wood and get myself $1. And dollars are points at the end of the game, just so you know. And if you notice, on all of these buildings, there is a dollar amount up in the corner. Like this embassy is worth $2, so it's 2 points at the end of the game. So that was one action. 2, I'm going to come to the grove and grab 2 more wood. And then 3, come to this clay delve and grab 2 clay. So that was summer, on to winter. Now I'm going to come to this clay burner and spend 1 wood, 2 clay to get 1 brick. That was 1. 2 to come to this riverbank, grab 2 more wood. And then 3, I'm going to grab $1 and draw 2 of these cards. So I got a wooden shovel, which is just a one-time thing where I can get 3 clay. I also got this building contract where it's a one-time action where I can spend 1 wood to build a farm, and I can do that 2 times. In order to play these, you have to come to the developer where it'll get you 2 tools and you get to play a card. So that's how these cards work. You get them at the librarian and then you can go to the developer to play them. So that was my 3 winter actions. We're back at the end of a year. So now these all go out. How about we stick, I think I want to put this guy up here by that clay burner as well. This factory will stick right here. And then this farm, turning farms to flats, will stick right by this joiner. I'm going to shift all of this down just a little bit. There we go. So now I can redistribute workers. I'm still good on that. Sustenance, everybody's still good. And now production. I'm going to get 3 more tools. And another food. And that's the end of production. So now we are on to the start of another year. That's another market card. There are no more places to place out. You'll never place them out at the in the 5th year. All right. So now we're on to summer actions. I think what I'm going to do, yes. I'm going to go to the riverbank to grab 2 more wood. Then I'm going to go to the market, and I can do this any number of times. I'm going to take all 3 of this food, and I'm going to sell it to get $3. So I'll put 2 back and take a 5, so I'm up to $6 there. So that is 2 actions. For my 3rd, come to this clay delve, grab 2 more clay. So that is summer. On to winter. I'm going to come to this clay burner and 1 wood, 2 more clay to get another brick. 2, I'm going to come up here to this builder. I'm going to spend 2 more of those, 3 wood, and 1 brick to change one of my farms into an estate. And an estate is a farm that holds 3 workers, so I'm going to get 2 additional farmers. So that was 2 actions. And now for my 3rd, I'm going to come right below that and spend 1 tool, 1 brick, 1 clay, and 1 wood, and get myself a pub. Because everybody needs a pub. I'm gonna place 1 worker on there, or 1 farmer. And now I'm out of goods. Whew, at the end of the era. All right, so that's the end of the year. There's no places to put out. Can redistribute workers, I'm good on that. Sustenance phase, oh yeah, let's move this before I get to any of that down into the warehouse. I'll put it in storage. And sustenance is gonna get me 1 hunting lodge, 1 food there, $1 on my pub, which can go right there, and then 3 more tools because of my smithy. So that is the end of Era 1. Yeah, well, let's go up top. We'll talk about where we're sitting at the end of Era 1, and then we will start Era 2. So let's go up top. All right, guys, so Era 1. As you can see, you're starting to build an engine. It's slow going. Like, I've got quite a few more farmers, which is great. So I'm building up my workforce. I've got a lot of storage, but I don't really have anything else going on. Yeah, so it's been real slow going, but I've played this game multiple times, and I know that that first era, you're just prepping yourself for down the road when things get much more interesting and you're really trying to like get your real big engine going. Right now, I've just got some money coming in, which is just points every year, which will be great. Because let's see, you got 5 years. I have 3 more eras, so that's 15 more years. So that's 15 more points right there with that 1 building. So that pub is going to produce me 15 points. 16 because I had it the final year. But yeah, that's like I've got that going. And then I've got that hunting lodge, which is just food. Later on, that's going to come into play because at like just came out was like the flat where you can get citizens, which are yellow workers instead of the green ones, which those require a food in order to sustain those guys at the end of the year. So that's why I got that hunting lodge, knowing that I'm going to have the citizens later on, so I need to make sure that, you know, at least one of them has food. So that was kind of my thought process to give you a little more strategy of what I was actually trying to do there. Anyway, that's it for this video. I will see you guys next time where we'll do Era 2. And yeah, hope you guys had fun. See you then.